A pilot and passenger walked away unharmed after their helicopter crashes down in the middle of a busy downtown Honolulu street following a loss of power. Hawaii correspondent Dessa Cenas reports.
The cable snapped and it was my fault. This was the recent admission made by Brand Swigard, the owner of the company that conducts inspections on Mauna Loa helicopters, one of which figured in an emergency landing in one of the busy streets here in downtown Honolulu. A pilot and her passenger walked away mostly unharmed after their helicopter crashed into the middle of a busy downtown Honolulu street on Wednesday, May 8, following a loss of power. Hawaii Air Power Labs Incorporated serviced the helicopters owned and operated by Mauna Loa Helicopters. The red two-seater chopper skidded about 50 feet or 15 meters along the street before slamming into a parked car. The 30-year-old pilot was unharmed and her 71-year-old passenger required a single band-aid for a small cut to his head. Firefighters say the two on board were on a photography assignment when the aircraft experienced problems with power. While Swigard did not perform the inspection himself on the ill-fated chopper, as head of the company, he said he is assuming personal responsibility. This is not the first time that a helicopter owned by Mauna Loa figured in an incident such as this one, and authorities continue to investigate the matter. Meantime, the pilot was credited for her focus and concentration, ensuring the safe landing and averting further damage. From Honolulu, Hawaii, this is Dessa Cenas reporting for Eagle News Evening Edition.
An appeals court has sentenced former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi to 4 years in jail for tax fraud. The details from our Rome correspondent, Mia San Vicente.
An Italian appeals court has upheld the tax fraud conviction against former Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi, and he is expected to appeal the ruling in Italy's highest court. With the sentence upheld, the court recommended that former Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi serve 4 years in prison.
An appeals court sentenced former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi to 4 years in jail on Wednesday, May 8th, for tax fraud in connection with the purchase of broadcasting rights by his television network Mediaset. The 76-year-old media magnate, who is facing a separate trial on charges of paying for sex with a minor in the notorious Bunga Bunga parties, was also ordered to be barred from holding any public office job. Berlusconi can appeal against the sentence before it becomes definitive. Berlusconi had appealed to reverse a previous October court ruling, which also sentenced him to 4 years in jail for tax fraud. He will not face the prospect of jail unless he loses his next appeal. The next hearing of his trial for paying for sex with a minor is scheduled for May 13th.
Berlusconi denies the charges and says he's a victim of politically motivated prosecutors. Berlusconi could not hold a public office in 5 years or manage any company in 3 years, penalties that would take place only if the conviction is upheld on 2 levels of appeal. Reporting from Rome, Italy, this is Mia San Vicente for Eagle News Evening Edition.
And rescue workers in diving gear found 7 bodies on Wednesday in the wreckage after a cargo ship slammed into the dock at Genoa, toppling the busy Italian port's control tower into the harbor. Mia San Vicente is back with this report.
At least 7 people have been killed in a container ship accident in the northern Italian port city of Genova. Rescuers searched debris on land and underwater for survivors after the vessel hit a control tower. Along with the 3 fatalities, several people remain unaccounted after the ship smashed into the tower at about 11 p.m. local time on Tuesday here.
Now this video shows rescue workers searching for survivors after a container ship crashed into a control tower in the Italian port city of Genova. The video was released by the Italian Fire Service on Wednesday. At least 7 people were reported killed, while 3 people were still missing. Officials said 4 others had also suffered injuries, 2 seriously. The tower, which was more than 50 meters high, collapsed after being struck by the prow of the Jolly Nero ship. Rescue efforts were ongoing. The accident happened as staff were changing shifts, so more people than normal were in the tower. 3 people were believed to have been trapped in the lift of the control tower and may have fallen into the sea.
The cause of the crash wasn't clear. It happened at around 11 p.m. on Tuesday in calm conditions, and the container ship was maneuvering out of the port with the help of tugs and under the control of 2 pilots when the crash happened. Now the prosecutors have boarded the vessel and opened an investigation into the accident. Reporting from Italy, this is Mia San Vicente for Eagle News Evening Edition.
And Hawaii experienced the first solar eclipse of 2013 on Thursday. Hawaii was the only state in the U.S. to view this cosmic event. Our Hawaii correspondent, Des Acenas, is back with a report.
Yes, Alma. I'm right here outside the Honolulu Zoo with the other stargazers and sun worshippers to witness the very first annular solar eclipse of 2013. A solar eclipse occurs when the moon crosses between the Earth and the Sun, and the moon obstructs or occults the Sun. When the whole Sun is blocked, it is a total eclipse. When only a portion is blocked and the moon appears smaller than the Sun, it is called annular. The first annular eclipse occurred on May 9, 2013 and was visible from across the northern part of Australia and the extreme eastern point of Papua New Guinea and in some parts of Solomon Islands. In Hawaii, the eclipse began at about 2:23 p.m. local time until about 5:01 p.m., which peaked at around 3:48 p.m. At that point, the sun resembled a partially bitten cookie. There were several viewing events held in Honolulu. One of the sponsors was the Institute of Astronomy of the University of Hawaii, who handed out free solar viewing glasses to the public. There were high-powered telescope and cameras specially designed to view solar phenomena like this, as well as other inexpensive devices made available to observers. Hawaii is the only state in America that was able to witness this spectacular event, and as the locals will say, lucky to live Hawaii. And I'm ready with my solar glasses. From Honolulu, Hawaii, this is Des Acenas reporting for Eagle News Evening Edition.
Astronomer Jill Tarter, the inspiration for heroine Ellie Arroway in the novel and movie Contact, played by Jodie Foster, has stepped down after 35 years of scanning the heavens for signals from intelligent aliens, she says, and her search continues. Our correspondent from Hawaii, Des Acenas, was able to meet her. Take a look.
The search for extraterrestrial life is getting closer as astronomers, scientists, and other experts close in on Earth 2.0. This was disclosed by Dr. Jill Tarter of the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, or SETI. With recent discoveries by the NASA Kepler telescope of possible habitable planets with Earth-like characteristics, SETI scientists consider the likely existence of extraterrestrial life within these zones.
So we're closing in on Earth 2.0. We're getting close to finding a planet the size and density of Earth in orbit around a star like our Sun at the appropriate distance, something like 1 astronomical unit, so that the planet might have the right temperature for liquid water on its surface. We're not there yet. We have found planets in habitable zones around stars smaller and bigger than our Sun. We have found planets that are smaller than the Earth. We found planets that are bigger than the Earth. We haven't yet found an Earth-sized planet in the habitable zone of a solar-type star. But it's coming.
NASA and SETI scientists are working on other factors to zero in on Earth 2.0. So you mentioned that you have a candidate for Earth 2.0. What are the indicators, the characteristics? What do we know about this Earth 2.0?
Well, what we're seeing is in all of the Kepler candidates, there appear to be planets that are Earth-sized, perhaps at the right distance, but we need more data to be statistically significant, and we need studies from the ground to follow up and confirm what Kepler's finding. But that's our going in supposition. So we're looking for planets around stars that are similar to our sun. So not much more massive, not much less massive, stars that are ordinary, run-of-the-mill, not very variable, like our sun.
SETI scientists work on the NASA Kepler mission and the newly built observing system known as SON-ADA, or the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence on the Allen Telescope Array, to look not just for signs of life or biosignatures, but techno-signatures or advanced intelligent life with technology.
In the meantime, we can look not for biosignatures, but how about looking for techno-signatures? How about asking not just whether the planets are inhabited by microbial life, but by advanced intelligent life with technology? And we began looking for evidence that somebody else out there was broadcasting radio signals.
Dr. Tartar is well-renowned and well-respected in the male-dominated field of astronomy. However, for Hollywood buffs, especially fans of Jodie Foster, you might remember the movie Contact, where the character played by Jodie Foster, Ellie Arroway, was based on the life and works of Dr. Tartar. Dr. Tartar has received various awards for her work, including 2 NASA Public Service Medals, Lifetime Achievement Award from Women in Aerospace, and was named Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People in the World in 2004. So to the question, are we alone? Scientists will tell us that they don't have the answer yet. However, their work is not done as they continue to explore the galaxies far beyond our own galaxy. Reporting here from the Kennedy Theater here at the University of Hawaii, this is Dessa Senes reporting for Eagle News Evening Edition.
Santander in northern Spain is claiming the title of Europe's first smart city ahead of contenders such as Amsterdam and Birmingham. Angela Garcia reports from Madrid.
What is the smartest city of them all? Many cities like to boast that they are the most innovative and cosmopolitan, but now there is an official list that proves which are the most intelligent cities, and it says that Santander in Spain is being hailed as the smartest city in Europe. The port city of Santander, located on Spain's north coast, is the most clever or the smartest city in the world, according to Professor Luis Muñoz of the Smart Santander project. The city is part of an EU-funded experiment to make cities more efficient. Thousands of sensors placed in strategic locations collect data that feeds into an online network that anyone with an app on their mobile device can read as real-time information. It provides all kinds of data, from live traffic updates to information about air quality and weather. Muñoz says it will even find you a parking spot.
This is calibrated with the Earth's magnetic field in this area, and when something comes and parks on it, a vehicle in this case, it produces alterations in the Earth's magnetic field lines, and those changes are interpreted as the presence of a car.
There are 12,000 sensors placed throughout Santander to form a network that Mayor Íñigo de la Serna says it's bringing a new level of efficiency to the city. He says the data stream has also brought significant energy savings. The sensors can tell when the city parks need irrigating or when street lights need to be turned on. Using a smartphone, the city's residents can use the application to report problems in their neighborhoods. Santander resident José Carlos Cebollos says it's proving to be very popular.
I think it is a good step forward to improve the interaction between citizens and the city's administration, and a good way to have access to more information. It's also an evolution in the way citizens get access to information, which in many cases is through mobile technology. I think it's just the first step.
And it seems, he says, that the experiment is working. Santander's technological evolution could be a model for other cities, not just in Europe, but around the world. Reporting from Madrid, Spain, this is Angela Garcia reporting for Eagle News.
Tornadoes, hail, and torrential rain strike the northern Italy, causing millions of euros of damage to homes, farms, and agriculture. Mia San Vicente reports from Italy. Mia.
A huge tornado struck the Emilia-Romagna region in northern Italy this weekend, Alma, and this amateur video shows a tornado touching down in the villages near Bologna, Italy.
A tornado sows destruction across northern Italy. Amateur videographers filmed the twister ripping through the Emilia-Romagna region on Friday. 12 people were injured, while hundreds of buildings were also damaged. One farmer says he was tending to his fields when the wind started to pick up suddenly. The destruction to farmland and property caused by the tornado, hail and torrential rain is estimated to be worth millions of euros. Local officials have called on the government to declare a state of emergency.
11 people were reportedly wounded and damage to several properties as well. Now, Alma, this is also the region that was struck by a devastating earthquake and subsequent aftershocks last summer, killing 27 people and destroying hundreds of buildings. Reporting from Italy, this is Mia San Vicente for Eagle News Evening Edition.